Okay. There are two major methods or techniques that can be used in group decision making. These are the nominal technique and the standard agenda technique. And today I'm going to talk about how we can use both of these techniques to solve the parking problem at the University of New Haven. So I have my group of 15 students with a mix of commuting students and residents. And first I'm going to describe how we would go about coming up with a solution to the parking problem using the nominal technique. So the first thing that I will do is have the students generate ideas, and I will pass around a piece of paper that has the question written on it. What is the best way that they feel the parking problem at University of New Haven can be solved? I'll have the students write down their ideas on the paper silently and without talking to one another. And then we'll move on to the next step, which is recording the ideas with the group. So I'm going to go around the group. We'll be sitting in a circle, and I will start with the person that's seated to the left of me and have them read off the ideas that they came up with to solve the parking problem, and I will write them here on the board. Once we have all the different ideas written down, we are going to discuss those ideas. So we will have an open table discussion where the students will be able to talk about the pros and cons of each idea as it pertains to the parking at the university. And the last thing we're going to do is an anonymous voting session where students will be able to vote and rate each one of the ideas. We can have them rate from 1 to 10, 1 being the best and 10 being the worst. The idea that collectively scores the best overall is going to be the idea that we implement to solve parking problems at the University of New Haven. The other method is called the standard agenda technique. And with this method, the first thing that we do is define our problem. So we're going to clearly define the issue that we have at UNH, which is that there doesn't seem to be enough parking for students during the hours that the majority of the classes are held, resulting in students being late to class and also getting parking tickets. The next thing that we're going to do is gather and analyze evidence and information. So we're going to determine how many parking spaces we have, and we're also going to determine how many students are attending classes during the peak hours. Once we have this data, we will be able to move on to the third step, which is establishing the criteria for the solutions we come up with. We want parking spaces to be within a half a mile of the buildings where the classes are held, and we want to ensure that there are enough parking spaces for the students that are attending this university. The next step, which is the fourth step, is generating and evaluating the possible solutions. So we're going to have the students talk amongst themselves and with me as well about what they believe are the best solutions to fix the parking problem. Once we have our solutions written down and organized, we are going to select and implement the best solution. So we're going to either come up with a clear idea of how to best fix the problem by discussing it and collaborating with one another. And if we do not, then we're going to vote on what we believe is the best way to solve the parking problem as a group. And once we come up with the best idea, we're going to return to it in a couple of months and monitor how it's working. And we will go back and conduct an anonymous survey to determine how students feel the new parking situation is working for them. So between these two groups, the nominal method and the standard agenda method, I believe that the standard agenda method is the best method for solving a problem such as parking on campus. It's really helpful to gather raw data to solve a problem that's going to require a lot of time and energy. either creating a new parking lot or creating a shuttle service. These things are expensive and very time consuming. And so they would require us to gather raw data and analyze that data to make the best decision. The nominal method is useful as well, but it's better for the times when we need to make quick decisions and we don't need to have raw data or numbers and figures at our hands.